Who's on here? Good afternoon, y'all. Hey, Ruthie. Seems like I just left y'all last night. Well, I'm doing Zifty. Good afternoon. Nicole Rose. Ruthie. Oops, I'm driving too fast. Wait a minute. Stop. Hey, Eloise Keenan. I ain't never seen your name. Maybe I haven't noticed it, but anywho's. So I'm doing Zifty. I'm already an hour late. Okay, welcome to my channel. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so when I'm online. Okay. So you live in the Atlanta area? Live in the Atlanta area and you decide to do Zifty, make sure you give them my name. Teresa Smallwood. And then you know, you have to go down to the office. It's off of Spring Street downtown. And I signed up a few months ago. What? Did you start? Did you ever start doing Zifty, or you just signed up and just didn't do it? Because, you know, I signed up not last year, but the year before that, after someone's recommendation. And do you have Stash? I signed up for Stash, but I never put any money in it. I had signed up for Acorn, and I was putting money aside of Acorn, and I made some money from Acorn. And then when the market went down, I also lost value. I also lost, you know, I was losing money too. So I had stopped putting money in the Acorn because I wasn't getting that adequate amount of money to continue to do it. Even though they was like, oh, you could do it for $5 a month and blah blah blah. But they did something with my account where they took out 3-4 months at one time, and I was like, wait a minute. And then I had to contact the Bank of America to see if they'll reverse the charges, and then turned around, they took the money back out of my account. And so I just decided to just take whatever money I had put into it and just took it out. But that's another discussion I'm going to do on my tax tips. I'm going to do my tax return. I'm going to start doing my tax return for this year. And I got a 1099 D B, because anytime you have investments, you also have to report that on your tax return. And I had a loss, so I could report my losses. So I'm going to talk about that. It's not a big loss, but when anything, put it this way, $600, $700 just to lose some value in that. Now I know this, you know, with those investments, it's based upon longevity, so you have to kind of keep your money in the market. When it goes up, down, whatever, you just have to keep investing into it. But Acorn, Stash, it's all the same thing. No one company is not going to do better than the other, because they all based on the stock market, and they all do, you know, it's all the same thing, you know. It ain't no different. You don't have to invest, you know. Stash is no better than Acorn. Acorn is no better than Stash. What makes the difference between those two companies is just a matter of who you choose to deal with. That's all, you know. It's all the same, and it's just a way to get your foot in the market if you don't have a lot of money to invest in the stock market and buy any whole shares of stocks. But there are other better ways to invest than doing Acorn and Stash, in my opinion. But I'm gonna talk about that as another tax topic. Well, it's not really gonna be a tax topic because it's not really related to taxes in the sense of when it comes to your filing, unless you well, it does have to do with your taxes. But when it comes to those little investments, when you put $5 down, it's not really going to make that much of a difference on your tax return unless you had a huge gain or a huge loss. But they will give you a 1099 anyway. But unless you had a lot of investments and you deduct, like I have deducted from my thrift account, which is the government version of a 401k. When you take money out of that account, you get taxed from the withholdings from that money when you take it out. Plus, you get taxed again when you file your tax return. So you lose 60-70% of your value when you deduct from a retirement plan, because that plan for your retirement is to be future tax in it when you turn a certain age. So if you take that money out, they're going to tax you, and they're going to penalize you for an early withdrawal penalty for taking it out early, because 401ks doesn't mean that you don't get taxed in the you're deferring your taxes on the income, meaning what's the best 401k plan? A 401k is administered by a company. You don't buy into a 401k. 401k is when you work for a company. What you're speaking of is an IRA, individual retirement account. That is the account that you if you're getting it on your own. There's no better than who's better than one. You want to get an IRA account. Now, who you choose to minister your IRA account is all depends on what relationship you want to have with that company. There's a lot of companies out there. Merrill Lynch, most banks offer IRAs in the financial part of it. What are some other ones? The name is right there. I can see the name. Charles Schwab. It's a lot. Oh, Jesus. I need to get me some new dang tires. So it depends on how much they charge to administer the fee. Now, I could put my money and I could, if I had to open up an account, I could put money in my thrift account, because the thrift account, because it was, when I was a federal employee, they charged the lowest fees. So I would keep my money in the thrift account because the government doesn't charge any high fees compared to the others. But all of them, there's a lot of companies you could choose, but you don't do a 401k. A 401k is when if you're working for a company and you sign up for a 401k and they match dollar for dollar. So when you work for a company, a lot of people don't want to invest because they say, I need all my money. But the money that you take that's coming out of your paycheck and a company offers a 401k, they say they'll match it like 5% or 6%. That's why if I was to work for a company, regardless of how much your pay is, you may want to invest like, $25 or something. Because, $14 an hour and, making low income, you're not going to be able to afford to put 60% of your check. That's going to be impossible. But if you decide to do $1 or a percentage, it's up to you when you work for a company that offers 401k. Now, a lot of these companies in these last couple years since I've been looking for a job, I have very few companies that offer, that hires seasonal or part-time or temporary. They don't even have 401k. They don't even offer a retirement plan when you first work in a company. A lot of companies offer a 401k plan. They say, oh, you could invest in a 401k, and some companies use certain companies to administer the company's plan. But like the last two companies I worked with, you have to work for the company. You have to be there for a whole year before you could before they will match the 401k. So a whole year, that's when they're gonna match. They will then match it. Other than that, you could sign up for any company 401k immediately, but they're not gonna invest in that company. And another thing about working for companies, I'm gonna have to turn on my app in a few minutes, y'all, because I'm almost in the Zifty area. I'm probably in the area right now. Well, anyway, some companies, well, most companies rather, even at the IRS, you have to be at a company for 3 years to fully invest. So say for instance, you had $10,000 in your 401k, and that's a combination between what the company matches and what you had put aside. You have to wait until you have to wait 3 years or sometimes 5 years, depending on the company, before that whole entire money belongs to you. If you go with a company and they say to be fully invested, and it's 3 years, and say you left in 2 years, and say the company had put $10,000 to match your plan. I'm in the zone, y'all, so I'm gonna get off in the next couple of minutes. So say for instance, the company put $10,000. They invested $10,000, and you had $3,000, and the company had $2,000, and you left before 3 years before you could be fully invested. All that money that company put in, you will not be able to take it along. That won't be yours. They keep that. That's not yours. So you have to be careful about signing up for 401ks and investment plan with companies, because if they match from day one, then it's great. But if they say, okay, you can open up a 401k, but we won't invest until you're there for a whole year. You lost a whole year of investing. I don't like companies like that, because they don't value you as an employee. They want you to, they're not going to invest until after a year, and then you got to wait 3 years to fully be invested. It's like you already lost 1 whole year that they're not going to do anything. And then you got it. So it's like, in actuality, you got to stay there 4 or 5 years for you to reap the benefits of the 401k. Now, I'm not saying don't get a 401k from a company that does that, but that's what a 401k is. An IRA, individual retirement account, that's what anyone could sign up and get an IRA account, and you just decide how much money do I want to put. But I'm going to do a tax topic on that, because for want to save on their taxes, you could open up an IRA account before April 15th, and you have a catch-up plan. That means if you're 50 or older, you could set aside what they call a catch-up plan. Now, I don't know what the new limits are, because every year it changes, but I'm going to talk about that. That's going to be my next topic. So I'm going to talk about that this week, because I'm going to start looking into opening up an IRA account for my own self, and then see what this new company that I'll be working with part-time, see if they offer, what kind of benefits do they offer for for their part-time associates. So I'm quite sure they offer some benefits, but once I sign on and come on board with this company, I will go ahead and check it out. I will do something. I'm not saying, I'm not expecting health benefits or anything like that, but it will at least open up some opportunities for me to, I'm not going to say what the name of right now, because I'm trying not to speak so much about places that I work at. Lost an hour and 20, so that means I have to stay on longer tonight to get to 90%, but so I'll talk to y'all later, and I will come on probably later tonight when I'm on my way home. So Lady T after